Hey first-year students. One of the things on our syllabus is a slender volume titled Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke. You might be wondering what that book has to do with a course that's mostly about China, taught by a business professor. Here's the answer. I read that book when I was in college. I find it really wise and valuable, so I wanted to share it with you. In a perfect world, we would gather around the fire pit on campus, or at least talk about this book in class where we could dwell on it, share our insights. In this semester, when we're trying to cram in outside speakers and do a whole lot of other things, I think we should try to do it this way. Let's have an online virtual book club. I'll post this prompt and invite you to respond with your own video. You don't need to be a poet to get some value out of that book. It has a lot of great content on how to relate to your family as you're growing and changing, as people your age in college often are, when your ideas may at times diverge from them or even your own past and future ideas. It's got some great ideas in there about being a creative person who's trying to make something and how to interact with others when you want validation about that. It has ideas that are valuable, I think, about relationships, particularly relationships between men and women and sexuality. So I think there's a lot in there that is relevant even if you don't think of yourself as a young poet. And that book has also spawned a whole lot of other similarly titled books. There's letters to a young teacher and letters to a young conservative and letters to a young just about everything else that you can think of, springboarding off of that title. So it's culturally just a good thing to know about. It's really a collection of letters from one earnest soul to another about life. The man who wrote them is a famous German poet. The person to whom he wrote the letters was a young poet who was attending the military school where he had been and had sent the more senior poet some letters and copies of poems he had written, asked him for input on them, and just over many years he poured out his heart in some correspondence. And so spend a few hours with it. It won't take you that long. Don't just try to open a random page and pick something, but try to get through it, make some notes as you do. I'd like you to record a video and do this. Just tell me something that you found interesting in it, something that you found resonant, that agreed with something in your own experience, or maybe something that you thought, that's not really the way it is. I don't think that's right. You can disagree with it. You don't have to like the book. You just have to read it. But I want to know what your reaction is. So you can quote a passage from it, read it to us, and then say what you liked about it or what you didn't perhaps. Let me know what you think. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this little book.